At Sunday dinner, my dad declared, "Your brother's the only one who works hard around here." The table clapped. I calmly said, "Then he won't need the $3,000 I cover for his rent each month." My brother choked on his drink. Mom whispered his name. And then, Sunday dinners at my parents' house have always been a performance. My brother Marcus sits at the head like royalty while I'm the ghost everyone tolerates. Marcus is 32, charismatic, always talking about his startup that's perpetually about to take off. I'm 28, a senior accountant at a firm downtown, boring compared to his goals. This particular Sunday, Dad was in rare form. He raised his wine glass mid-meal, beaming at Marcus. I want to make a toast to Marcus, the only one in this family who truly understands what hard work means. Building something from nothing takes real dedication. The table erupted in applause. My aunt nodded enthusiastically. My cousin whistled. Mom smiled that proud smile she reserves exclusively for Marcus. My sister-in-law looked smug. I sat there, fork frozen halfway to my mouth, watching my family celebrate the brother whose rent I'd been paying for 16 months. The same brother who borrowed my car 3 times last month. The same brother whose health insurance I quietly added to my corporate plan because his startup couldn't afford benefits. Some people, Dad continued, clearly on a roll, just coast through life. Safe jobs, no vision, no ambition. His eyes flickered toward me for a fraction of a second. But Marcus? He's a builder, a doer. More applause. Marcus had the decency to look slightly uncomfortable, but not uncomfortable enough to stop it. That's when something snapped. I set down my fork with deliberate calm, took a sip of water, and smiled. "Well," I said, my voice cutting through the celebration, "then I guess Marcus won't need the $3,000 I cover for his rent each month." The room went silent so fast, you could hear the ice settling in glasses. Marcus choked on his drink, actual liquid spraying across the table. Mom's face drained of color as she whispered, "Marcus?" Dad blinked rapidly. "What are you talking about?" I pulled out my phone, scrolling through my banking app with theatrical slowness. Let's see. January's rent, $3,000. February, another $3,000. And March, that was a rough month. Had to cover utilities too, so $3,300 total. Marcus was coughing, his wife patting his back while staring at him with dawning horror. 16 months, I continued, my voice steady. That's $48,000. Give or take the extra hundreds here and there for groceries when his startup was between funding rounds. My aunt's mouth hung open. My cousin had stopped mid-chew. There's also the car insurance I've been paying since his lapsed. That's another $2,400 annually. And the health insurance through my company, roughly $6,000 a year in additional premiums. Why didn't you tell us? Mom's voice cracked. Because Marcus asked me not to. I looked directly at my brother, whose face had gone from red to pale. He said it would embarrass him, that Dad would be disappointed, so I kept quiet and let him have his dignity while I paid his bills. Dad's wine glass sat forgotten. "Is this true, Marcus?" Marcus opened his mouth. Nothing came out. His wife's expression shifted from confusion to rage. "You told me your parents were helping with rent, so that's where the hard work is," I said, standing up slowly. "Not in building something from nothing, but in quietly holding up the people you love while they take all the credit." I grabbed my jacket from the chair. "From now on, I'm stopping all payments. You're right, Dad. Marcus worked so hard, he can handle his own rent now." "Wait," Marcus finally found his voice. "You can't what? Stop funding your lifestyle while you insult mine?" I smiled coldly. "Watch me." I walked toward the door. Behind me, chaos erupted. Marcus trying to explain, his wife demanding answers, Dad sitting in stunned silence, Mom crying. My phone buzzed before I reached my car. A text from Marcus. "We need to talk." I replied with a screenshot of my bank account showing 18 months of transfers, then typed, "No, we really don't."